Hello. I would like to talk about this book today because of Winn, Dixie by Kate DiCamillo. My kids often ask me, my daughters and children at school, Mr. Walker or Dad, what's your favourite book? And I always say I don't really have a favourite one. I have lots of different books I like, but a book which I always mention when asked what is my favourite is this book because of Winn, Dixie. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Kate DiCamillo is, I think, quite a well-known author in the States and less well-known over here in the UK, which is a shame because she's brilliant. And she writes quite a range of books for younger children, the Mercy Watson books, which I've reviewed on this site, as well as books for slightly older kids. My girls read this I read this to my girls when they were 7, 8 years old. It's a sort of a fair bit of text in it. No pictures, no illustrations. Chapters are not too long, which makes it a little bit more accessible. It tells the story of a girl, India Opal Bologna, and her father, a preacher, and Opal's quest for friendship. She's moved to a new town called Naomi with her dad. Her mother's left home for reasons that we don't really understand, but Opal misses her tremendously. And indeed, she's a lonely girl, a lonely child. And her father seems lonely too. Opal goes to the shops one day, goes to the local store, the Winn Dixie store, and finds a dog, meets a dog who she adopts. And that's Winn Dixie. The dog's name is taken from the name of the store, Winn Dixie. And Winn Dixie proceeds to help Opal befriend a number of other lonely people. And in fact, loneliness, sadness is one of the themes in the book, one of the predominant themes, which I think makes it very interesting. Obviously, loneliness and sadness is something that children experience as well as adults. And I think this helps put it into words for children, a difficult emotion to understand and describe. And I suppose it normalizes that sense of being sad or experiencing sadness at times. That's one of the reasons I like it. I think it takes on a challenge, an interesting challenge. As with all of Kate DiCamillo's books, it's beautifully written. She has a lovely turn of phrase. Challenging children's vocabulary, challenging their reading skills, I suppose, their comprehension skills, but never being over the top. Not a huge amount happens in the book. One of the complaints I've heard about is, what's it about? Nothing happens. And sure, it's not like a Anthony Horowitz style Stormbreaker or a Harry Potter adventure. But that's not the aim of the book. That wasn't what Kate DiCamillo was trying to achieve. It's about friendship and about developing friendship, understanding people's reticence to make friends sometimes. There's a really lovely piece in it which I'd just like to read very briefly. Opal is with a friend of hers, Amanda, and they're talking to someone called Miss Franny, who's a local librarian. And she, the librarian, offers them a sweet, a litmus lozenge. "Would you care for a litmus lozenge?" she asked Amanda and me. "Yes, please," said Amanda. "Sure," I said. "Can Winn Dixie have one too?" "I've never known a dog that cared for hard candy," said Miss Franny, "but he is welcome to try one." Miss Franny gave Amanda one litmus lozenge and me two. I unwrapped one and held it out to Winn Dixie. He sat up and sniffed it and wagged his tail and took the candy from between my fingers, real gentle. He tried to chew on it, and when that didn't work, he just swallowed the whole thing in one big gulp. Then he wagged his tail at me and lay back down. I ate my litmus lozenge slow. It tasted good. It tasted like root beer and strawberry and something else I didn't have a name for, something that made me feel kind of sad. I looked over at Amanda. She was sucking on her candy and thinking hard. "Do you like it?" Miss Franny asked me. "Yes, ma'am," I told her. "What about you, Amanda? Do you like the litmus lozenge?" "Yes, ma'am," she said. "But it makes me think of things I feel sad about." I wondered what in the world Amanda Wilkinson had to feel sad about. She wasn't new to town. She had a mama and a daddy. I had seen them with her in church. "There's a secret ingredient in there," Miss Franny said. "I know it," I told her. "I can taste it." "What is it?" "Sorrow," Miss Franny said. "Not everybody can taste it. Children especially seem to have a hard time knowing it's there." "I taste it," I said. "Me too." "Well then," Miss Franny said, "you've probably both had your share of sadness." Anyway, that's a short bit. What a lovely idea. Sweets that taste of sadness and conjure up feelings of sorrow or memories, notions of sorrow in a sorrow-filled world. It's a lovely book, a beautiful book, a really beautifully written, beautifully executed book. And I urge everybody to read it, and hopefully it'll become one of your favourites too. So there you go. Because of Winn Dixie by Katie Camilo.